Good morning, Cindy. Hope you can hear me. Okay, so I'm going to just close up on this. I've been working on the reindeer. I won't be able to see your questions until the very end, so I will. This is the second reindeer, and I will answer the questions at the end or in the comments. But what I need to do, these legs are very thick. This is the second reindeer, and I made him a lot heavier. I'm going to make sure you can really see that here. Let me move this where you can really see it. Hopefully you can really see that well. But I made him much heavier so that I could start to trim down those legs. But first I need to embed the armature in the legs. And you might remember I was using the Richardson armature. And so what I'm going to do today is just carefully, I have this riffler tool. I've got tape around it. That's what's looking funny on that. But it's a riffler tool that allows for kind of a good gouging away of the clay. Has little sharp lines in it that are almost microscopic. And I'm going to just carefully take away some clay here and then put this armature wire into this clay animal, the reindeer. I have to kind of close up on it to see. I'm really trying to get these done kind of before Christmas, if possible. I'm putting that in there. I worked on the antlers before Christmas, if possible. I'm putting that in there. I worked on the antlers, but I don't want to show them yet. They're not quite done. I worked on the antlers, and I'm using Sculpting for the antlers, but I'm using just regular clay. Let me just see who's on so I can say hi. Cindy. Okay, just make sure you can hear me. All right, I'll go back to the work. All right, let's see if we can get a really good close-up on that. So I basically take out a channel of clay, and then right in there, I'm going to embed the armature that I need. And that way, when I'm done, I can then thin out the legs, because the legs are pretty thin. They're not bulky like what I'm showing here. This almost feels like a horse the way it looks there. And you know, I'm wondering if I'm going to use the other. I have this, let's see. Oh, that's a little too thin. Yeah, I need to stick with this heavier 1/8 inch. And the Richardson armature wire is really ideal for this. I'm looking for my cutters here. All right, so I'm just going to take the width of this armature. Oops, clip it down. It also clips very easily compared to a lot of other types of wire. And just bend that into shape. Just bend that into shape. Kind of match it up. And I got to dig a little bit more out now. And I'm going to do this on all 4 legs. I'll look up every now and then and see if I can answer any questions to keep my clay picked up here. Basically what I did before you saw this, it was very thin looking. There's a picture in our community area of how thin looking that was. And I bulked it up so that I could start to really get this thing finished and operated on with armature. I don't want to have my hand in the way so you can see what I'm doing. Really got to dig out more of a channel. You need to make it a little thicker when you're going to do this so that you have that leeway. All right, let's try that. Oops. Oop, got it upside down and backwards there. There we go. And I got a pretty good match up there. So I'm going to kind of poke that into that clay at that end and then bring it down and press it in as good as I can there. Just press that in. I don't know if I got that quite deep enough. If not, let me take that out and make it a little deeper. Use another tool here just to get, here we go. I need to bring out more of that clay. I use a very hard clay. meaning when it's cooled down, like to room temperature, it's very hard. And then when you heat it, and not, you don't want to melt it, but I heat it using a heating pad here. You'll find that it's very malleable. The great advantage is that now I'm really making a channel in there. If you can see that. The great advantage is you can get nice fine detail on such a hard clay. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to get it just raked out there. All right, so we're going to install the armature here. And oops, I'm upside down and backwards again. There we go. All right, get that in there. And I'm going to press it in with my tool. I like this end. I'm using this kind of tool to press it in. You can see that. Press that tool in there. I think I might want a heavier tool. Let's try this one. It's a pad tool, and it presses it in deep, but it's not coming out the other side. You mess it up a little like that, it's no big deal. And now you just want to close it over, just like you've done an operation. Pinch that closed, press that down. You know, you have to do some edits as you go because you mess up what your previous work is to some extent, but it's okay. Let's get that in there. Can you see that from there? I hope so. It's hard to work and not have my hand in the way. There we go. A little bit. And then I'll fix what it looks like on the outside. But now the great advantage is the reindeer legs. I don't know if you can see this one completely. They're very thin compared to the body. The body is much bulkier looking than like a horse's legs. So, I should say the legs are much less bulky than a horse's leg. I'm going to just smooth that in there like that. You wouldn't even know that I put that in there. See that? You can see close up. Of course, I'm going to be able to now move it around a little bit without it breaking off. And the problem is when the legs don't have any armature in, they're just too thin for a clay object, and they just want to break off. And you can be careful, but I'm going to be standing these up and kind of displaying them. You know, I'm going to want to have my clay be sort of a display object before I move it into a mold making stage. I'll take pictures of it and everything before I cut it up for molds. Because you have to cut things up for mold making and then you lose your design that way. A lot of times if you don't make a good record of it. So let me just take a look at that structure. That goes down a lot steeper. But I'll fix it. I'll just keep working on it. I don't have a good, strong, drawn out plan for these reindeer. So I'm just relying on pictures and, you know, keep looking at the videos. This is just a still picture here, but I have pictures of the reindeer. Their ankles are so thin. So I'll be able to go in and really pare that down. They have a weird kind of clicking sound that their ankles make. And they say that they use it to communicate to each other. So that's in, and you wouldn't even know that's in there. Let me get my bubble wrap. My bubble wrap is so that I can lie this down. I hope you can see very well. I'm still counting on getting a second camera soon so I can see the close-up as well as you can. Because once we're in close-up, I can barely see what I'm doing. I need to be able to see if you're seeing the right thing. So that's coming. See, now that was about to just crack right off. I don't know if you can see. There's no armature in there yet. So that's coming. See, now that was about to just crack right off. I don't know if you can see. There's no armature in there yet. But in the one with armature, it's so sturdy now, it's crazy. And that ankle won't crack off as I try to make it thin. And it can even be used to stand up with the other reindeer, which I haven't really thinned those legs out on the other one yet either, but I will. I started to work on the head a little bit. So let's do the second leg right here. This is really ready to crack off on me. So I'll start up here. And I'm starting up at the upper area because, let me see if I can move this that way, yeah. I want the armature to definitely penetrate into the body of the clay so that it has some anchoring point there. Whoop. I want to go all the way down, all the way down. Okay. Let me just pull up my screen and see if you guys have any questions. Not at this time. Okay, that's okay. All right, I'm going to continue. Here we are. And just scrape away some excess. Get that over here. I try to keep pretty well cleaned up while I'm working because you can get crumbs all over the place. All right. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. There we go. Whoops. And once you start handling the clay, even though it's a very hard clay, just the warmth from your hands, you'd be amazed at how it starts to soften up the clay. It gets easier to work with just working on it. And then, of course, when you get away from it again, it solidifies further. But after trying many different kinds of clay over decades, I would not want to work with any other clay but a light colored, hard styling modeling clay, which is what this is, Clayette by Chavant. And that's on our website. I don't sell it. I don't make a commission from showing the link to it. I just want you to be able to get it. And there's soft and medium and hard. Soft is good for doing just exercises, I think, clay exercises, but it won't hold the detail. And medium is like, okay, make up my mind, right? Do I want a hard styling clay that I can make detail or a soft one to just be able to do sketches, clay sketches, quick studies? Well, I kind of like to do both, but so what I do is I get the super hard and I just heat it up like I'm doing over here for if I want to have, let me try and show you. It's been heating for a while and it almost looks shiny, but that's almost too hot for the touch. Yeah, right now. And that's certainly soft, I can tell you. Let's put it right back in there. Turn it down a little bit. There we go. So, all right, so I've gouged out this leg pretty well. Let me just take this and make a good channel. I have done that. All right, so now, again, I'm just going to cut. Hope everybody can see that okay. Oh, there's some more people on. Hi there. Hi, Mark. And I'm just going to get back because I'm having a little trouble seeing that this morning. I think there's a smudge on my screen there. But anyway, I'm going to answer your questions for sure afterwards. So I appreciate those questions. That's the whole purpose of why I'm doing all this, really. I want to be able to teach these methods. Okay, let's see if I can get that to match up. This is the great thing about this Richardson wire. It's very pliable, but really strong. So that's a good shape right there. I'm going to clip that off. Okay, oops. Just clip that off. Whoop! There it goes. That's fitting in there pretty well. Okay, so there's my alarm. But I'm going to continue on, and then I'll have all these legs strengthened, and this one too. And on Friday, hopefully these will be done more and the legs will be thinned out to get those. I know you can't see from here. Let me see if I can show you how thin those little ankles are. When I get a second webcam, I'll be able to pick it up and show right on the screen what we're looking at. So it'll be a lot easier. But anyway, thanks so much, everyone, for coming on today. And I'm continuing on and trying to come up with new things as I'm working and finishing up what we have, which is a lot, right? Okay, take care, and everybody, I'll see you on Friday. Bye.